Action! Hey everyone, Meteorologist Tuttle here with you. A little early here on your Sunday evening because frankly I got a few things to do around the 9:30 time slot, and so I'm here with you at the 8:50 time slot. This will actually be a fairly short one as well. I know you're excited about that. We're going to talk about the forecast we head on into this upcoming Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be a long weekend. I mean, we're going to squeeze out 4 days. Some of you might squeeze out 5 days. So you come to the right place. I did do a blog earlier today, posted around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you have a chance, read that as well. It's a quick read. Also, you can like and share that one with your friends and family. So first off, welcome you guys out there on the YouTube channel and also on Periscope and Twitter and my Facebook pages as well. All right, so let's get on with it, shall we? Let's see. First thing I want to show you is this little nugget. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so this is the guys that have been trying to forecast tornado seasons in advance, and meaning by weeks at a time. In other words, they'll forecast 2 and 3 weeks out, and they'll grade themselves to see how well they did. Last year wasn't too bad. There was some issue, a little bit of skill there. In other words, it looks like there might have been some skill. In prior years, it was kind of mixed, so they're getting a little bit better at what they're looking at, try to narrow things down. However, this year, in the green here, they got a couple of them where it did show a little bit of skill. In other words, when they predicted average for that week, it was average number of tornadoes. When they predicted above average, there was no skill there because it ended up being, or let's put it this way. In this particular case, for this example, A means average. They forecasted average. Actual was above average, so that's no skill. So when they forecast average and it shows average, there's skill. They forecast above average, and the actuals above average, there's some skills. They score themselves a 1 for skill, where they actually got it right, and they score themselves a 0 for skill that's no skill, that's less. In other words, if they forecast it below average and end up being average, that's no skill. Now, if they forecast, in this particular case, below average and it was above average, that's a no-no. That's a -1. So there's a lot of zeros, even a -1 on here. So this season, I just don't see it averaging out to be anything of value yet. So they're still going to work on it and see how these long-range forecast tornadoes go. I want to go because I want to tell you this. You'll watch, guys on TV all the time forecast a tornado season, and they're going to say, "Boy, it's going to be active, and it's going to be active on this month, and this particular month's going to be this one, and this month is that one." It's all garbage. So just let you know, for 1,000th time, it's all garbage. Even these guys that are the pros in this, and they're trying to do something that's never been done before, still can't get enough skill to hang their hat on. They're working at it, and they might get there, but it's just not there today. All right, so I just want to throw that out there. Now we look at the Storm Prediction Center. These guys forecast that stuff for a living. It's all they do. You can see from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing happening. Now, here's a caveat for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. As we head into this period of May, Memorial Day weekend, there's always severe weather. It just comes out of thin air. It just happens. There's rarely in Oklahoma can we skirt through a Memorial Day weekend either dry or storm free. It just does not happen that often. So there is going to be some storms here. Just right now, the signals are a little messy, so they're not painting anything on the map just yet, but they will. But just want to kind of show you that from the Storm Prediction Center. Now, let's talk about 2 things here. First off, this is the storm system that's going to be kind of scooting through the Rockies and wrapping up here across Canada. But the trail end of it extends down here across the Rockies here in New Mexico. So this is our first little wave, and this puts us in a southwest flow. In other words, the airflow comes from the southwest to the northeast across Texas and Oklahoma. In the springtime, we get a southwest flow, usually later in the spring months, and that interacts with the dry line out west, which is usually in the eastern Texas panhandle, and that usually focuses some storms. All right, so we're getting into that pattern now. Now, this particular pattern for Thursday is pretty weak. In other words, most of the energy is way up here. The big trough is mostly to our north. So we're kind of getting some glancing below Little P. So we'll probably see a few thunderstorms around here on Thursday as an increase in moisture comes in from the Gulf of Mexico. So that'll kind of set the stage. What's going to be kind of a stormy period for about 4 days or so. Here's a look at the storm system after that, according to a couple of different models. The American model just has basically a little trough axis moving through on Sunday. Not a big deal, fairly weak. The Canadian model says, no, wait a minute, we got a really good trough out here in the west. It's going to be slow to clear. That's going to keep us in a good active southwest flow over the weekend, probably even into Memorial Day. The European says, hey, this thing's going to come off as a closed low. It's going to be active at first, but will it be progressive enough to clear us out for Memorial Day itself? And it just might. So right now, Memorial Day itself is up in question as far as whether or not we can clear out in time, get all these storms east of us. But at least for Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be seeing some storms with this, and also for Friday. This is how things ought to play out for you. Let's go into the fun stuff here. This is Monday afternoon. What do you see on that map? You should see lots of 70s and even some low 80s. Gorgeous weather. Today I loved it. Seriously, today's weather is my pick of the litter. Oh, so nice. All right, so we head into the nighttime hours. We're in the 50s to low 60s. Back into tomorrow, guess where we back are? Back into the 70s and low 80s. Are you loving it? I know I am. Back in the 50s we go. Some low 60s for Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, we're back into the 70s, probably still some 80s sneaking on in there. And then we're going to start to increase that moisture. So the overnight lows will come up Thursday morning, only in the mid-60s for most of us. And then as we head into the afternoon hours, a little cooler because of increasing cloud cover, moisture, and a few storms. We'll still probably be in the 70s, though, for daytime highs. And then on Friday morning, we're in that upper 60s to around 70. That's when you really start to feel the juice. That's when you wake outside and go up for your morning coffee, and you're like, oh, here it comes. And then for Friday afternoon, we're in the sticky mid-80s. As we head into Saturday, we're back in those low 70s in the morning. And then we're in the 80s again in the afternoon. Let's go back for Sunday morning. We're back in the 70s again. So you kind of get the trick. We're kind of stuck in that right around 70 and probably low to mid-80s pattern over the weekend. Even on into Memorial Day itself. Still some mid-80s, but maybe, just maybe, we'll dry out on that day. Things go well. Okay, so how does the storm systems look? Like we talked about, the first little kick of energy comes in on Thursday. So as we take a look at Thursday itself, there's that return moisture. So we're going to get some probably theta E showers and rumbles of thunder with some elevated instability with that little shortwave out to our west. So I don't think we're going to see a widespread deal of severe weather, nor do I think it'll be that potent on Thursday, the way things look now. Still plenty of days to change, but right now it's the way it looks. As we head into Friday, there's Friday morning, there's Friday afternoon. So some signals there. There's going to be a few storms around right now. The models kind of keep it down here, but I wouldn't stick to this location. In other words, I would just look at this as a signal for storms, and I would look more out toward western Oklahoma near the dry line, because that's our typical setup. So that's how I'd see Friday taking shape. All right, let's go on into Saturday. Let's see, here's Saturday afternoon. So there's that dry line magic, eastern Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma, all the way down to west central Texas. So again, that jives with the southwest flow aloft in the pattern. And of course, any storm that does fire out here is usually late afternoon, and then during the evening they kind of move east. Whether or not they hold together long enough to get in Oklahoma City is always up for grabs, but they used to give it a run for it, at least until dark, and they typically fall apart. As we head into Sunday, still signal there. This is a little messy and not as clear cut for this particular model. I just picked one model out of several. It's got storm signal again out here across the western parts of the state. It's indicating again dry line action out there. And then on Monday, this model is dry. So I'm hoping that'll be the case. Still some residual storms looks like Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning up north, and we're kind of still in a leftover pattern of some weak activity. So I'm hoping, like I said, we can squeeze out a dry Monday. We're going to have at least a few storms out there across the state. Most it looks like confined out to the west. No guarantees, no promises, because it depends on how far east they travel. If they release an outflow boundary or two to work with. So things can always change in the details in the extended, but I want to tell you at least what you can expect as we head into that big long weekend. Warmer temperatures, more humidity, a few storms out there each day. You know what? It'd be great if we could get through this period without any tornadoes at all. I'd be okay with that. We're actually running below normal for May for tornadoes, which is good. It's our most active time of the year for tornadoes, and I'm trying to think of how many we've had. It hasn't been very many. I believe there may have been one, believe it or not, on Sunday at the very tip of the state. We're talking way down there, right on the Arkansas-Texas border, kind of like that tri-state area. I think there was a report of a tornado supposedly on the ground at that point over the weekend. But as far as this upcoming week, we'll have to see how the signals are. Typically in the southwest flow, you do get wind shear favorable for supercells that can produce tornadoes. The wind shear, though, has to be strong enough to allow that to happen. Sometimes it's fairly weak. If it's too weak, that makes it very hard to produce a tornado, but easy to produce some hail and damaging winds. All right, so that's the latest look at that. forecast done. How about that? 10 minutes. In and out. Take a look at your comments real quick, and I'll turn you loose. Jim, always checking in for Mustang. Always good to see you. Sword of the Spirit. He lots of thumbs up over there. Sergio's in the house. Hola. Wes, yeah, you're there as always. No tornado hashtag. You got it. We'll see what happens. You're welcome, Stacy. And also on Twitter, you guys, and Periscope, always feel free to chime in there. And then let's see. Let's go to the closed group Facebook page. A lot of you have become Facebook fans, subscribers, and patrons recently, last couple of weeks, and you've gotten access to the closed groups. I appreciate your support, by the way. That helps to fund what I do here for you. So every little nickel and dime, trust me, goes right back to you. So let's see. I hope that was good news for you, Michael. Now, as we get closer to those events, I'm obviously going to get you more specific, detailed information exactly where the storms will be, the timing of the storms, and what they will contain. But you can always assume here in the springtime for May, it's going to be at least wind and hail. It's hard to get around May without that. We've gone one. It may have been 2005 or 7. I'm trying to think which year it was. We had a May with no tornadoes, first time ever. So it can happen, and this year will be very low, which is good. Hopefully, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it because May's not over. We still got another week, but like I said, let's see if we can get by without one. All right, Jennifer was on it with the short but sweet. Matt, I hear you, man. I hear you. I try to keep a captive audience the best I can. You guys are funny. You guys are cute. Holly, yes, the countdown's been here for the last few years, so you've probably been missing it. Okay, so the reason why I do that is twofold. One is you know exactly when I'm going to come on, so if you've got to run to the potty, you got time to go potty. If your dog needs to go potty, you got time to send the dog out to go potty. You know what I'm saying? Also, it gives Facebook time to notify you because sometimes they're a little late to their own party, and that gives me time also to do a few things behind the scenes that I got to get set up on the technical side to get this broadcast up and running. So that's the reason for the 2-minute countdown. Leah, I should be watching American Idol. That's cute. Oh, my goodness. It's funny. It's a couple of those shows way back in the day when they first came out. I watched them. And then I haven't seen them since because it was just the same thing over and over and over for the next 20 years. And I just I lost interest. What do you think about the recent Washington Post article about Tornado Alley shifting into the Deep South, Kelly? So, good question. I can tell you that people focus too much on where they think an alley is. They focus too much on the meaning of an alley. And they focus too much on the fact that what does it matter? Bottom line is, we get tornadoes. They get tornadoes. North of us gets tornadoes. Pretty much everywhere in the country gets tornadoes, even out toward the Rockies, believe it or not. So you always got to be prepared, always have a plan. Mackenzie's watching from Weatherford. Good to see you. Jennifer, Tulsa. Yeah, Tulsa, they always get storms too Memorial Day weekend. It happens around the area. Right now, there's no strong signals at this point in time for Tulsa. These are all weak, elusive signals, if you will. So narrowing them down right now will not be possible. But give me a couple of days, we get closer and that window shortens, we can get that for you. Matt, is there a chance the rain could miss us Sunday? Of course. Because I really have no idea where you are, specifically. And Oklahoma's a big state. So in those kind of deals, usually get these scattered storms that don't affect the entire state. They affect certain pockets of it, certain parts of it, and the rest of it, you're like, did it storm this weekend? I didn't even know it. I'm out there on the lake. So if it affects you, you'll know it. Look up in the sky, you can see them coming a mile away. Anyway, so we'll get to those kind of details later, but let's see if we can't keep them focused out there in western Oklahoma during this 4 or 5 day stretch. We'll see how far east they travel each day. Depends on what time they start, to what time they finish, and how much instability is left overall after that. All right. Well, I believe that was it for me. I'm going to go ahead and scoot. But I appreciate you guys watching, liking, sharing the video. A lot of you have now realized you got a good place to go to get some scientific weather data that is not filled with fear and hysterics. So I'm thankful for that. So stick around and tell your friends and family about me. And we'll do it all again soon. All right, everybody have a great evening. Talk again. Thank you. Bye-bye.